What we're going to do now is some basic setup, just to get the database set up, the company name, address, and your data files. We need to define those paths and get your data backup path set up as well. So I'm just going to create a fictitious company real quickly here. The hours of operation, I set them. However, I believe they're only used on the lesson side of the software presently. They could be used on the point of sale side in the future. So it's a good idea just to get them set up either way. On Sunday, I guess you want to set your closing time before your opening time, just to avoid that error. So after we have the company name and the hours set up, we're going to just hit the save button up here just to make sure that this information all saves and we don't have to redo it. Okay, so after that, what we're going to do is we're going to copy the database to a new location. Presently it's in a temporary folder, so when we copy it to a new location, this is going to be where it permanently resides on your server. Mine is just running off a folder on my desktop, but you're probably going to want to have a slightly different path than that. Just for illustrative purposes, we'll put it there though. So now we're just restarting the application to let the save take effect. The username and password are min and lessons again. We haven't set any users up at this point. And what you'll see here is the data path has been changed to a location actually on our server. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to set up the backup path. This is where the system's going to do backups of the database, periodic backups, so that you can roll back the system at any given time if you run into an issue, and it's also good for archiving purposes. So I just have a little backup folder as a sub to my main database area. You can set it up however you want. Now this step is actually quite important, and we need to make sure that a backup path is set. And once again, we'll save again, just to make sure everything takes, and we'll test the backup. So if we go up to Data Setup, and we say Backup Database, it's going to make a copy of the current database and put it into the folder I just defined down here. And we can go and check that really quick, just to make sure it's working. Go into Database, Backup folder, and we have a backup of lessons with so it's going to have a timestamp here when the backup was done. So 2014, February 11th at 7:23 and 20 seconds in the morning. That way if you do multiple backups, it's not going to overwrite itself. So after we get the backup path set, another good idea is to set your backup reminder. Typically I run this at 24 hours. And what this is going to do is every time you close the application, when you click the X up here, it's going to go check and see what was the last time you had backed up the database. And if it was less than 24 hours ago, then it's fine. But if it's been more than 24 hours since you backed up your database, it's going to ask you to back up your database. And what this will do is it'll get you a daily copy of your database, which is not a bad idea. After we set the data path, we need to go define the license. So we click on the License tab, and then we choose the software license we purchased. Today I'll choose Scheduler with POS. What you're going to notice is after I hit the save, several new tabs will appear. The tabs are controlled by the license which you purchase. And we'll go through and we'll set some of those up at a later point in time. For now, we're all set up for, we have company name, we have our hours of operation, and our data paths.